Assalamu alaikum everyone, hope you all are doing great and well. So welcome back to the YouTube channel of Anya Asad. I'm back with another video. So once again, if you're new, so don't forget to like, subscribe my YouTube channel. Okay, so if you're new to my channel, so don't forget to like, subscribe my video, plus press the bell icon to get a notification of my each and every video. So once again, I'm back. So as you know, previously I uploaded a video where in which video it was a YouTube video in which I told you about the ration numbers and the things like that. So now once again I'm with you guys. So today we're gonna study science because science is also one of my favorite subject. It is actually my favorite subject with English. So we're gonna do this today. So yes, let's start without wasting any of our time. Any question or English to my science, you can comment on any of my video. I will actually go through that as soon as it will be possible for me to go through it. So let's start it. So today the topic that we are going to do is plant system. So the topic for today that we are having is plant system. So what is actually plant system? So for going to the topic of plant system, you should know what is actually plant system. So now I'm gonna explain that to you. So now vexillate plants have two distinct organ systems, a shoot system and a root system. Now for studying a plant system, you should know in a vascular plant, they have two distinct organ systems. Distinct means very important, very lively organ systems. So those organ systems basically include, first of all, we have a shoot system inside it and a root system inside it. So these two systems are a very distinct organs of a vascular plants actually have in them. Okay, now what are these two systems? We are going to discuss about these two systems in a very detailed form. So the first of all, we're having the shoot system. So the shoot system consists of stems, leaves, and the reproductive parts of a plant like flowers and fruits and seeds also. Now these are all present in shoot system. Shoot system basically generally grows above ground, which where it absorbs the light needed for photosynthesis. So this is a part of the plant that grows above the ground, or basically upwards the ground. So now in this part, why is this part present upwards or above the ground? Because it basically takes the light from the sun, and which helps us perform the process of photosynthesis for making the food. Now it has different types of different kinds of things present inside it. Like it has stems inside it, like stems grow on over here, leaves, fruits, and all reproductive parts like flowers, seeds, etc., birds. All these parts are also present in the shoot system. So this is basically the importance of shoot system that it has. Now we have the root system. Now what is the root system? So basically the root system, which supports the plant and absorb water and minerals, is usually underground. Now usually underground means maybe it can be above the ground, but mostly it's found underground. Now the organ systems of a typical plant are illustrated below. Now we're gonna go to the illustrated systems of a plant, but before that you need to know what is a root system. Now you should remember always that a root system is basically a part of the plant which supports the plant. It is very important for the support of the plant because it basically holds the plant, it anchors the plant in the soil firmly. Okay, now as well as it absorbs waters, because whenever we give water to the plant, we give it to the roots, not to the shoot system of the plant. We give to the root system because root system transfer, it is basically helped in the term of transportation as well. So, and it's usually underground, like carrot, reddish, in these type of areas. It's present mostly underground. Now organ system of a typical plant or is illustrated over here. Now this is a basically a plant that is present in front of you. It has a root system, a shoot system. Now in its root system, you can see which is present underground, or we can say which is present below the ground. Now in this root system, you can see that it's covered under the ground and it has its roots. Now you can see that it has its roots and it absorbs water and minerals. Now its roots basically absorb water and minerals. All the minerals that are given by the root to the soil is also are also absorbed by these roots, and then they provide it to the whole plant. And then we also now here, this is the only thing that's present in the root system. That we have root hairs as well that are present here, but they are not visible right now, or they are not labeled right now. But this is thing that's present in the root system, which is very small actually. And no more about it doesn't has more body parts. Now then we're having the shoot system, which consists of a lot of things. Now in the shoot system, you can see the food grows, the leaves are present, the bird is present. Now everything is present in the shoot system. Now shoot system, first of all, we have stem, which is connected to the roots. Now it supports the plant because roots are connected and supported to the stem, and whole basically whole plant is holded with the stem, because the stem, basically what does the stem do? It basically joins all the whole plant together. Then it basically supports the plant, and you cannot imagine the support of a plant without it, because it plays a vital role in supporting the plant. Its basic work is to support the plant as it holds the root and connects the root from the soil to the upwards direction, until unless the food is prepared or the tree or the plant falls sick. Okay, so after that we are having our fruit. Now fruit basically is what we eat. Now fruit is also the fruit is the thing that we eat. It protects the seed as well. You can say it protects the seed that is present inside, which grows with xylem, or all the things, cotyledon, all the things. So yeah, that is basically, fruit is basically it protects the seed. Its basic function, you can say, is to protect the seed. Then we're having the leaf. Now performs photosynthesis, or you can say it's the factories of the leaf where food is made. Now it has stomata present inside it, which is a green pigment. Also it has chlorophyll, which is a green pigment which helps in the process of photosynthesis. It makes the food, it prepares the food. It's called the kitchen of the, or kitchen of the plant, or factory of the plant where food is actually made. It plays a vital role in making the food or in the preparation of the food. And without leaf, plant can never be present. Without leaf, stem and root, plant is incomplete. There can be no plant, or there is no plant actually which doesn't has a leaf, a stem and a root. In every plant you're going to find it, or else it's not known as a plant if we don't find these three things present inside it. Now it performs the step of photosynthesis, like it takes in oxygen and gives out it gives out carbon dioxide and takes in the oxygen, Oof, sorry. It takes in the carbon dioxide from the humans and gives out the oxygen to the humans, and then it basically also takes the sunlight from the surroundings or from the sun, and then it produces the process of photosynthesis. Also requires water for the healthier growth. Then it basically prepares the food that is actually very essential for one's life. Okay. So then we're having a flower. So it helps in reproduction. Now it's very important for reproduction. All the sexual, asexual reproduction that takes place, or the plant that that you actually know how it is. Like there are different methods, like tube, bulb, and vegetation, degeneration, and as well as they're cutting, the layering. There are different methods of doing these reproduction, but but still propagation, different methods of doing that. Okay, so all the type of reproduction, whether it's sexual, it's asexual, like whatever it is, it takes place in the flower. The flower plays a main role. Okay? Without flower, you will not do the step of growing on the plants. If you want to grow the plants, you need what you actually need is a flower. Okay. Now root system. So now root system, definition of roots. Now the definition of root is that roots are non-leafy part of a plant's body that grow below the soil. This is basically the definition of the root. It actually means that these are the part of the plant's body, or these are the part of a plant that grow below the soil. Like it's mostly that they grow below the soil, because it's very rare that grow and above the soil, which is actually very rare. They mostly grow below the soil of the ground, and they have root hairs present in them. This is the structure of the roots are given to you. This is the structure of the roots. Now these these are the non-leafy parts of the plants, but that means the leaves do not grow on them. They are having root hairs. They are not leaves present on them. They are having root hairs. Okay, so now you guys can see below that there is an image or there is a picture of three different type of roots present in front of you. So these are all different type of roots that are present. Okay. So now we are having the function of root system. Now what is a function of a root system? So they are having four functions. Like, let me tell you. Okay. So first of all, encourage and support. Encourage and support. So roots provide physical support the plant and ensuring it to the soil. Now I told you that they provide physical support to the plant. Now they are very important for the support of a plant. Now stem holds the plant in the soil. We know about it. That stem actually plays a very important role in holding the plant in the soil. But the physical support to the plant is always provided by a root. So now roots provide a physical support to the plant and then they ensuring it to the soil. Ensuring it to the soil means a whole family. So they hold the plant firmly in the soil without any hesitation and without any break. Like now it's their work. They perform this work very vigilantly. So this is what they actually do and what they actually perform. Now, secondly, after ensure and support, now they also help in the process of absorption. Now, while the absorption process in the root system is also done by these. Now, what they actually do is like root hairs help the plant absorb water and nutrients from the soil. Now all the water and nutrients present in the soil are absorbed by the root hairs from the soil. Like there are, as you know, there are many minerals that are present and mineral nutrients that are present in the soil, and as well as water is absorbed in the soil. Now what do the root hairs do? They grab that because they're small hairy structures. Now they grab that and bring that towards the soil, towards the roots. Now this is the work of the roots hairs, and now this is basically the function of the root system. Now the root system basically perform this whole function. Okay, then we are having transport. Now in the transport, for this the word transport means, now roots have specialized cells that help conduct water and nutrients upward to the stems and leaf. Now there are many, now they help in the process of transportation. How do they help in the process of transportation? They help in the process of transportation, as roots have basically specialized cells. There are many specialized cells present in the roots which basically help them, which help them grab all the water and nutrients. And when after grabbing that water and nutrients, what they do is they basically bring it upwards. They grab it upwards to the stem and leaf, and they basically distribute it among the other parts of the plant equally much, how much they needed, how much the requirement of the part of the plant is. So this is basically what they do. They also help in the process or in the part of transportation. Okay, so yeah, after that we are having storage. Now what does storage means? Now storage basically means, and some roots act as a storage organ. Now you should know this, that some roots are basically known as storage organs. They work as storage organ, they act as storage organ. Now what do I mean from this? Like for example, the roots of carrots and sweet potatoes store food in them. Now you should know this, sweet potatoes and carrots, they basically, the roots of them store food in them. They basically store food in them. Some desert plants roots are capable for storing water in them. Now some of the desert plants, because there's very less water in desert, so whenever they see water, they basically store that water in them. Now this is also basically a function of a root system. That most, not we're not gonna say most, because not all or most, some roots basically act as storage organs. Not all the roots, or more than enough roots actually do that. Some of the roots do like that. Okay, so I hope so now you understand the function of a root system: encourage and support, absorption, transport, storage. These are all the very important and a very vital basically functions played by the root system. Okay, now out of these four, the most uh, the most casual one or most important one is encourage and support, and most unimportant, or maybe if it's fine, if it's not important, it is a storage one. Okay, and the normal ones like that are actually very important, but yeah, that they are normal, are absorption and transportation ones. So this is a very wide information that you need to know about these all 4 points. Okay, so okay, so now we are having root hairs. Now, what are root hairs? So root hairs are hair like outgrowths of a plant of a root. Okay, now what is this? It's hided. Okay, now root hairs. Root hairs are basically a very also a very important part of a plant body, and they are the outgrowths, like in the root. They are the outgrowths of the root of a plant, and they are like hairy structures. Like you see a woman having hairs all over her mouth. So these are like that. Roots. They are roots which have hairs all over their mouth. Okay, like it's the same as a hair of a woman. So yeah, as in if it would be not wrong if I say as if in of a hair of a woman. Okay, yeah, it's actually not wrong if I say that. Okay, root hairs are hair like outgrowths of a plant of root. I don't know it's plant or not, but it seems like plant. Okay. Then we're having functions of roots. Now, the function of root hairs are like root hair cells are adapt for the efficient outtake of water by osmosis and mineral iron. So basically, these are the root hairs are basically they are why are they present in the body? They are present in the body for the efficient uptake of water. Now, efficient uptake of water means for getting the enough water that is required by a plant body by osmosis. Now, this is osmosis. Now, osmosis is basically a part of a plant where which is capable for the efficient uptake of water, which helps basically root hairs in this process. Okay, and minerals like whether they are water, whether they are minerals, they are root hairs are basically capable for finding that with the help of osmosis. Okay, then then we're having root hairs are single celled extensions of epidermis cells in roots. Now, it is also a very important one. You need to get a very you need a very nice understanding for this one, which is like they are single cell extensions. Now, single cell extensions means that they are single celled. They don't have more than one cells. They are single celled extensions. Extensions means more like extensions of epidermis cell in the roots. Now, epidermis cells in the root means the epidermis cells that are present in the roots. They're like the extensions of those. Like they vary from those, but yeah, they're a bit different from those, but their work is same as those ones. So yeah, this basically meant I meant this for that root hairs are single celled extensions of epidermis cells in the roots, and there are also the epidermis cells that are present in the roots. So they are the single cells extensions of those epidermis cells present in the roots. I hope so now you understand it. Okay, and then they grow between soil particles and absorb water and minerals from the soil. Now, what is the main thing you need to know about them is where they grow. So basically, they grow between soil particles. Now, all the soil particles where they're present, they grow between them. You're not gonna say they grow in them; they grow between them. So this is where they grow. They grow between the soil particles. Okay, and now why do they grow between soil particles? Now this is a point of contra question that can come. So why do they do that? Because they absorb water and minerals from the soil. So because their main purpose is absorbing the water and minerals from the soil. Now this is the main function that they have, and this is the main work that they need to do. And yeah. So basically now I hope so now you understand what is this. So basically the root hairs they grow between these soil particles and absorb water and minerals from the soil. So this is it. Okay. Okay, so now then the next one which we are having is root hairs increase the surface area to volume ratio significantly. Now they increase the surface area to volume ratio now because there is a lot of ratio already present there. So for increasing, so they increase the surface area. Why? To balance it to volume the ratio or to give it a volume. So now basically they increase the surface area of a root so that the plant's surface area can be increased and it can be more, it can be overcome and the plant can look more in the surface. Okay, so that's why root hairs increases surface area to volume ratio significantly. So okay, and also you should know how significantly. This is a portion to the how one part. Significantly, these were the four functions of the root hairs, as well as we discussed the definition of the root hairs. So I hope so now you got through what a root hair is very firmly. Now we're having on other side we're having the image that's present in front of you. So here we can see a yellow one part which is showing the root hair. So basically this is how the root hairs look like. This is a pictorial representation of root hairs. Underwear some they are like under some part they are like brownish one, and then upper one it's like cubes of mangoes, but they're actually something yellow, and then there are some scraps that are one coming like the dragon fruits. On the dragon fruits the green part like one structure it's like that. And then on the other image you can see that we're having something like it's actually looks like the kunanga, and yeah, it has the root tip and then the root cap, and then the xylem, phloem, cambium, it's all present inside that. So basically these two are the images of the root hairs present in the plant. Okay, so this is how the root hairs look like. Okay, then we are having this is also an wait, let me see how much more we need to, oh sorry, let me see how much more we need to do. Okay, let's do it. So okay, so now here we are having ribosomes that represent certain mitochondria, and then the nucleus, cytoplasm, vacuole, root hairs, cell wall, cell membrane. Remember when I made a video on the nucleus of an atom, or you can say it was cellular organization of plant cell. It was same as this one, so I think so that was exactly same as that's present in the root area or of a plant right now. So there was nothing different in that. If you are having any difficulty, that I have already explained that to you, you can go and watch my that video for understanding this one part. Okay, then we are having ribosomes. No, oh, sorry, now we're having osmosis, sorry. So the root hairs take water from the soil by a process called osmosis. Now this is the name of a process which is osmosis, and now root hairs take water from the soil by this process. So you should know that the process by which the root hairs take water from the soil is known as osmosis. Now this is basically the name of the process. Now you should remember that always, because this is definitely a very important one. And yeah, and a very important one. Okay, osmosis. So the root hairs basically, now what do the root hairs do? To take the water from the soil. Now you know what is soil. Ready, process of osmosis. Now okay, then we are having in osmosis, water molecules move from a region of high concentration to a region of low concentration as well through a semi-permeable membrane. Now this is the work of osmosis, or this is how do they work. They basically, what do they do is like they move the water molecules from a region of high concentration. So the region of high concentration, the part of a plant where high concentration is present, they move it towards the part of a plant where lower concentration is present. So this is the basic work or main work they do. They basically move the region, they move the water from a region from where there was a higher concentration to the region where there was a lower concentration through what or through which thing? A semi permeable membrane. Membrane's name is semi permeable. So through a semi permeable membrane. Okay. Then the concentration of water molecules is lower in the root hairs than the soil. So you should know that the concentration of water molecules is lower in the root hairs than in the soil. So it's very important to know for you guys that the concentration of the water molecules, like the concentration of the water molecules, that is lower in the root hairs than in the soil. So you should know okay, the again concentration of water molecules is lower in the root hairs than in the soil. This soil होती है, that's not that much in the root hairs. So this is the main point of explaining you this. That much concentration that is in the soil is not that much in the root hairs. So yeah, I'm talking about a concentration of water molecules. Okay, I'm not talking about a concentration of something else. I'm talking about a concentration of water molecules over here. Okay, so what the water moves into the root hairs through osmosis. Now this final thing you should do, that from where does it do? Okay, once again, osmosis. The root hairs take water from the soil by a process called osmosis. Hope so. Now that's clear to you because I already explained this it for a long time. In osmosis, water molecules move from a region of higher concentration to a region of lower concentration through a semi-permeable membrane. The concentration of the water molecules is lower in the root hairs than in the soil. So, the water moves into the root hairs through osmosis. I hope so. Now it's clear to you guys. Okay, now the root hair cell. Now, this is a root hair cell. You guys can see. So first of all, a plant into roots. Now this are the roots. You can see the soil particles. So there are the soil particles present inside this root hair soil. Okay, then you can see water and minerals. Now water and minerals are basically going to where they're going. You need to see where they're going. So they're going to the root hairs. The root hairs, they have cytoplasm as well as the cell wall present, and then you can see the nucleus and you can see the vacuole. This is basically the cellular organization of a plant cell, and this is basically that. Now I hope so now you understand that the water minerals were present, they were going to the plant. Now they were the root hairs which has in cytoplasm, cell wall as well as nucleus and vacuole. Now you can see there are six present like that, the same one. So this is basically how it's present inside a plant. Now these are the root hair cells. What are these? These are the root hair cells of a plant. Okay, then you can see over here, wait, you can see over here osmosis. ठीक है, wait, osmosis, then we are having, you can see osmosis first, wait, you can see osmosis first, then water molecule we are getting, then semi permeable. I am gonna show you this change. Osmosis, we're getting osmosis, then semi-permeable membrane. Okay, super molecule. You can see this diffusion change. This is what it's happening. You guys can see, because I can't see what's written here. Now you can see this moment. This is actually the moment. Again, just observe the moment. This is the moment of osmosis. This is how the osmosis works. This is the moment of osmosis basically. I hope so you can see it. Okay. Okay, internal structure of a root. Now you need to see this because definitely internal structure of a root is the most important thing. Now in internal structure of a root, we are having epidermis. Epidermis is basically the outmost protective covering that has tiny root hairs, absorb water and minerals. Okay, now this is the work of epidermis. Now it basically protects the plant. It basically protects the plant. It protects covering of the plant. Its basic function is to protect the plant. Nothing it has to do with the plant. Nothing function it has to do with the plant. The main function it has to do with the plant is that it has to protect the plant, nothing else. It's basically the outmost, I mean it's present outermost. There's no more layer before that, because definitely its work is to protect everything that comes in a plant, so that's why. Now this, it basically protects that. Now after that we're having a cortex. Now cortex basically transport and store nutrients and provide support. Now this is basically the work of the cortex. Now it basically transport and store nutrients and provide support. Now this is basically, these are the three works that it performs. Now there are the three works that the cortex performs. Now what are the three? So the three work that the cortex performs are that it transports. Transports means it moves something from one place to another one from one place to another place. Then it stores nutrient. That means it's something that's been stored by him, something it takes care of, or something it stores. Then it provides support. That means it basically helps in the provision of support. It supports something, it provides support to something. Okay, then you guys can see endodermis. Now it's same as the cortex. Okay, then xylem. So basically xylem, it transports water and nutrients from the soil to the stem and leaves. Now this is basically the work of xylem. It transports water and nutrients. Now it transports water and nutrients from the side to the stems and leaves. This is the basically the work. It has all the water and minerals that are nutrients that are present in the soil. Now what is the work that they have to transfer that water and minerals from the soil to the roots, to the stems and leaf. Now it has to transfer that to the stem and to the leaf. Now this is basically the basic work of it that it has to perform. Okay, so I hope you understand the basic work of xylem. And this, the in the red one is the xylem. Okay, in the red one, structure is of the xylem cell. This is basically the structure of the xylem cell. Then phloem. Phloem transports photosynthetically prepared food materials from the leaf to the storage organs. Now, the basic function, basic work of the phloem over here is that it needs to transfer all the things, all the food materials, everything that was present in the phloem. Like they have to transport that photosynthetically prepared food materials, all the material that was prepared that we had made to the leaves, from the leaves that were prepared in the leaf, because definitely food was prepared in the leaves. So definitely it was the leaf who had that. Now it has to transfer that from the leaf to the storage organs. Now to the organs that do the storage, they have to we have to transport that to those organs, storage organs. Okay, because now definitely that belongs to the storage organs, because we have to do nothing with that. No, that belongs to the storage organs. Then now here we have it. Okay, we're having much to do. Okay, then now we're having dicot root and their function. Now, dicot roots, we're having root hairs. Root hairs, basically this A1, you can see that's a root hair. Now what are the two functions that these root hairs have to perform? Okay, the very first function that root hairs have to perform is absorption of water and minerals and increase surface area for absorption. Now what is their function is that they need to increase the surface area for absorption. So that more things can be absorbed, they need to increase the surface area for the absorption. So yeah, this is a point to be noted one over here. Got it? Okay, so now these are the two functions of root hairs that are main functions of it. Okay, and in the figure where A is pointed, you can see that is the root hairs. Okay, now after that we're having epidermis. Now you can see the epidermis. The B1 image shows is the epidermis. Again, it's the outermost covering. So the function of the epidermis is that it has to produce root hair cells. Now it has to produce root hair cells. Now you know the function of root hair cells for progression and all those purposes. Now it has to basically send over those root hair cells. Now it's basically its functioning, it has to produce those root hair cells. Then it is used for protection. That means basically a plant needs protection and its outermost covering, and it has to provide those protection to the plant. So it's used for that purpose as well, for the protection purpose as well. So this is also main purpose of it, that it has to provide the protection to the plant, which is actually very necessary, very necessary. Okay, so these are the two functions of the epidermis. Produces root hair cells and protection. Okay, then cortex. Now what is the function of cortex? The C1 in the image you can see is the cortex. Now it's support means it basically helps in the function of support. In the dicot root, it plays a function of supporting. Okay, it plays a function of supporting. So its function is to support. It supports the plant, it supports everything that's present inside it. Okay, so it needs to give support to them. It's its function, as well as food storage. So its function is also food storage. Like all the food that's being prepared, it's need to store it, it need to send it to the stem, it needs to send it to the leaves, it needs to send it to all the other parts of the plant where the food is needed, where the food is highly required, and where the food is to be sent to humans. Now, it is its work to store the food. Okay, it needs to store the food. Now, here these are the two functions of the cortex: support and food storage. Hope so you can go through the image at present over here, and it's C1 is the cortex that's present. Endoderms. Now, what is endoderms? The D1 in the image is the endoderms. Now, what is basically the endoderms? That's very important for one to know. Now, the endoderm basically it helps regulate the movement of water and ions into and pull out of the vascular bundles. Now, this is the basic function of endoderms. Now, what it need to do is they need to help the regulation of the movement of water and in and out of the vascular bundles. They need to send its movement in and out of the vascular bundles. This is basically the basic function of the endoderms that they need to perform. The movement of water in and out of the vascular bundles, like all the they basically because it's very hard for plant to move the water in and out every second. So basically, they help in that. They help them in the regulation of that movement of that water. Then they basically protects the plant against toxins moving into the vascular system. Now, all the toxins that are in coming inside, trying to come inside the plant system, what do they do is like they basically protects the plant from them. They basically protects, they help in the protection of the plant in that way, so that nothing can come inside the vascular bundles, vascular part of the plant, and plant can stay hydrated, plant can stay normal, plant can stay active, plant can stay alive, and no germs or no harm pathogens into the plant. This is basically also the function of endoderms. Now, I hope so you know what's the two functions of endoderms. You can see the image of endoderms. The D1 mentioned is the endoderms. They basically help regulate the movement of water and ions in and out of the vascular bundles, as well as they protect the plant against toxins moving into the vascular functions system. Sorry. Now, phloem basically the basic work of phloem is to transport sugars. Now, it transports sugars, it transports food. This is basically the basic function of phloem, and it's blue. Now you can see even mentioned is the phloem, and it is blue in color. It's represented by a blue color. Basically, its color is blue. Now coming towards the function of phloem. So the function of phloem tells that it transports sugars. Like sugars basically means that sugar cane, not sugar cane, as like all the glucose, all the food particles that are required by a plant body, that are required by a human body. They basically takes all the food, and they basically transport that food from the roots or from the soil to the leaves or to the stem. So this is basically the function of the phloem. Then coming to about the xylem, which is F in the figure. If you want to see the xylem, that's F in the figure, and it is represented by a red color. There's a specific red color that's used to represent that is xylem. Okay, and it transport water and minerals. Now, transportation of water and minerals. What does it mean? That I know that in all of these absorption of water and minerals in root hairs. Okay, then for the transportation, phloem is also present, xylem is also present. There are many more parts that are also present, but the main part is xylem one. Xylem plays a main role of transportation of water and minerals. It mainly transported water and minerals from roots to all the other parts of the plant. Now, it's the main cause, it's the main thing that does this part. This transportation one part is mainly done by the xylem cell. Okay. Yeah, so xylem cell basically mainly plays the role of doing that. So okay, now types of roots. Now you should know what are the different types of roots. So we're having tap root system and fibrous root system. what is a taproot system and what is a fibrous root system. So the taproot difference system and fibrous root system basically. Now taproot system, they have long thick man roots. They are very long and they are thick tap roots, like their thickness can be overcome ever held by the tap roots. Now long thick man roots, these are man roots, like they have a lot of roots but they are man roots. So there are three types of roots present in the tap root. First of all is the man root that's present, then smaller roots from the man roots which are known as primary and then secondary roots. Now they also have these type of roots that are present. Now tap roots grow more deeply. More deeply means more into the soil. They grow more into the soil. Okay, they grow more into the soil. It means they grow more overheld in the soil. Then we are having D fibrous root. Now what are D fibrous root? Now V fibrous root, there is no man root. You should know that in D tap root we are having the man root, but in D fibrous root we are having no man root. We need to find the man root in the fibrous root. So we are having no man such man root that is present in the fibrous root. And in fibrous root all the roots are same, that we cannot say that there are smaller roots from the man roots. No, it has all the roots are the same size. There's no one bigger, no one smaller. All the roots basically have the same sizes. No one is bigger, no one is smaller, no one is medium one. Every root is same one of the same size. They carry all the same size. They do not grow deep in the soil. As I told you, the tap root grow in deep in the soil. So these roots, these fibrous root do not basically grow deep in the soil. They just go more less deeper in the soil. So now these were the tap roots and these were the fibrous root. I hope so you understand what I was meant it to say. Then we're having the difference between taproot and fibrous root. Now you can see the taproot. In the taproot, what you can see is like in the taproot, the leaves are like they are more long and thick, and you know they are man roots out of which the other roots are coming, which are more, smaller roots, and they have primary, secondary roots. Like more roots have lesser sizer one roots in front of them, and they are more deep to the soil. It means they are more into the soil. They are lesser deeper. And like the example is the carrot. Carrot's an example of that. Then we're having the fibrous root. In the fibrous root, you can see like they are like you can see that the fibrous root, they're like they don't have any man root. They're only equal sizes one together. Their sizes are all equal, like the sharps also. Okay, no, they do not grow that deep, but in the soil together, deepness of in the soil is also not that, and they are all of same sizes. Okay, and they don't have any someone bigger, someone smaller, and they are all of the same sizes. This is the thing between their taproot and the fibrous root. Okay, then okay, taproot. Now here you can see the taproot. Taproot have three roots, as I told you. Taproot have three parts. They have three types of roots present inside them. Now primary roots, tertiary roots, and secondary roots. Now the primary roots, the only main root that grows from end of the stem is called the primary roots. Now it is a stem that is very activated. Now very near to the stem. They grow actually the very under of the stem. They go actually from there. So they are basically the roots that grow from the end of the stem. They are known as the primary roots. The very first part is the primary roots. But the very first part of this tap root is basically the primary roots that grow very under the stem. It means they grow very near to the stem, very into the stem. Okay, so now you should know these are the primary roots. Okay. I hope you can see in the image the primary roots, they grow very under of the stem. So I hope so you can see that that's visible to you. Now, then the smaller roots that branch out from the primary roots are the secondary roots. Now, they are branched out of the. Now, they are activated into two different or three or different ways. Now, in the different directions. They are outed from different directions. Now the primary roots, they move into different directions. Furthermore, they convert into different directions, and then we have the secondary roots. They convert into secondary roots, and they are basically the stems or the roots that are released from the primary roots. Okay, now the secondary roots are known as the stems or the parts of the tap roots that are released from the primary roots. Okay, now these are released from the primary roots. Got it? I hope so you're understanding what I'm trying to say. Okay, now I hope so you can see these secondary roots as well. Then Then after that, the tertiary roots. Now, what are the tertiary roots? The branches of secondary roots are called tertiary roots. Now, the branch out one part are known as secondary roots, and the branches that are outed are known as the tertiary roots. Of the branches of secondary roots are now known as the tertiary roots. So these are the tertiary roots. You can see here the small smaller branches or the secondary roots that inhales out are known as the tertiary roots. Okay. Now again the primary roots, you can see the part that is attached to the stem is known as the primary roots, then the leaves, the secondary roots, and then the secondary roots, the branches of the secondary roots are basically that we are having here are the tertiary roots that are also labeled. They are specifically labeled over here. Let me show you. This is the primary root. These ones that are released are the secondary roots, and these branches like this mana, these type of structure are the tertiary roots. Got it? Okay. Then okay, they're having aerial roots. Now you should know what are aerial roots at best. So now what are aerial roots? Now banyan tree, orchard, these are all the aerial roots. So the a root that develops from a location on a plant above the surface of the earth or water as from the stem are known as the aerial roots. We say them as the aerial roots. So these are known as the aerial roots. So they are basically developed from a location of the plant above the earth or water as of a stem. So these are basically known as the aerial roots because they grow above in the earth soil. Like them, aerial basically means in the area above the ground. So basically, these are these type of things. These are these type of roots that are grown above the ground. Maybe they are not in the ground because then we've seen many, branches that are or roots that are in the ground. Now these are not in the ground. They are the things that are present above the ground. Now, for example, some orchid have area roots that grow from the stem and absorb water directly from the air. So now here the example, the best example are the orchids. Now they are having the area roots that grow from the stem. So these are they have the now here you can see here these are the roots that grow from the stem. Can you imagine? These are the roots that grow from the stem. These you guys can see this and this. Got it? These are the examples. This one and this one. These two are the examples of that. In the second image, you can see this orchid. These are the roots of these orchid. Okay. These are the roots of this orchid, which actually grow above the tree in the they grow above the tree and in the stem, and they take their water directly from the air. Now shoot system, we should know what is a shoot system as well. Okay, now a shoot system basically is like a definition of a shoot system. So it's a part of a plant which grows above the soil. Now, as I told you, that part of plant which grows below the soil is known as a root system. So the part of a plant that grows above the soil is known as a shoot system. So you should know the difference between the root system and the shoot system. This is a main difference between a root system as a shoot system. The root system grow above the under the soil or below the soil, and the root shoot system basically grows above the soil. Okay. So yeah, and you should know that shoot system includes stem, leaves, flowers, and fruits. These are all the things that include in a shoot system. So these are all the parts that includes in a shoot system. Then you can see this video picture in which you're having something present. So now here I told you what is a root system. Let's come into a shoot system. Now bird, stem, leaf, fruit, flower, everything, every reproductive part, non-reproductive part that is included except the root hairs, primary root, secondary root, tertiary roots, except those. These are all are the shoot system. These all are the part of a shoot system. They include as a part of a shoot system whether they do vegetative propagation, non-vegetative propagation, sexual, asexual representation, reproduction. That does not matter. They are basically all the part of the shoot system. Okay, and we declare them as a part of a shoot system whether they are flower, whether they are a bird, a fruit, a stem, a leaf, okay, a seed. Okay, no matter what. But if they're present above the root system or above the ground, they're known as a part of a shoot system. Got it? Okay, then functions of a shoot system. So first of all, shoot system basically is support. Together, the very first function of a shoe system is support. So the shoe system supports the whole part of a body and a whole plant body, and it also helps in the leaf orientation so that they can get maximum sunlight. So this is basically the basic function of the shoe system, that they help with the work of supportation. So basically, they support the whole plant body, they support the whole plant body and leaf orientation. What is leaf orientation? That leaf orientation is that so that leaf can orientate and make the food, as you know, in the kitchen of the factory or kitchen factory of the food making so of the plant. So they basically get the food system basically help them collect the maximum sunlight so that they can prepare the food for the plant, and the leaf orientation can take place. So basically this is the part of a support that can is actually explained over here. Okay, then we're having conduction of water and minerals. Now conduction of water and minerals is actually a very important part. Okay, so wherever you go, even its root, even its shoot, conduction or absorption of water minerals, you're gonna get it. So the shoot system of plant basically helps conduct the water and minerals that were absorbed by the root system to the leaves. Now basically they conducted water and minerals that were absorbed by the root system to the leaves. Now they basically they were present in the stem. Now the shoot system will basically do what? That will help the plant collect that water or minerals that were collected by the root system, and they're gonna basically help them travel towards the leaf, because the leaf actually needs that, because they do the process of photosynthesis for making the food. Now they're gonna definitely need that. Okay, so video is becoming too long. It shouldn't be that long, but it's actually becoming too long now. Okay, then we're having beer, flowers and fruits. Now the shoot system supports flowers and fruits now, and that is how it helps in pollination, production of fruits and vegetable plant propagation. Now the bear, fruits and flowers. Now, what does it mean? The shoot system support flowers and fruit. Now, it basically helps in the supportation as of the flowers and the fruits. Now, how does it does that? So basically, it helps in the step of pollination. Now, pollination, you should know the pollen grains and all that. Step one, and the production of fruits and plant propagation. Okay, also in that one step, it helps. Okay, so shoot system also plays a very vital role in that step. Okay, I'm speaking from last 50 minutes and I am now exhausted. Okay, so now lastly photosynthesis. So the shoot system supports the leaves, which is a primary site of photosynthesis, a process by which plants make their own food. So shoot system basically plays a very important, vital role in supporting the photosynthesis process, because it's a process where plants need sunlight, and sunlight can only be get if the plant is more bigger, and therefore that the shoot system provides the support to the plant, so that the plant can get that much support so that it can take the sunlight of the sun, and then the oxygen, the carbon dioxide from the human beings, get the oxygen, get the water from the human beings, so that they can basically do the process of photosynthesis, which is one important for making the food. So yeah, these are the four main functions of the shoot system: support, conduction of water and minerals, bear flowers and fruits, and photosynthesis. So yeah, then types of stems. Now you should know what are two types of stems. Now we are having two types of stems that are present with us. Okay, so the two types of stems are herbaceous stems and woody stems. Now what are herbaceous stems? Now herbaceous stems are basically plants with stems that are usually soft and bendable. That are herbaceous stems, and herbaceous stems die back to the ground every year. So yeah, they are mostly died, they die back to every year. There are thousands and millions of the herbaceous stems that die, and they basically are soft. They're very soft, that's why they mostly die. Okay, so due to their softness, that's really the cause of their death. And they're bendable, you can bend them, so that looks so satisfying while you bend them. Here's an image, let me tell you. Here's This is an image of an herbaceous stem, and this is an image of the woody stem. So I hope you see. Now the woody stem. The woody stem. Okay, the wood stem. The plants with stems such as tree trunks that are hard and do not bend easily. Now it's totally opposite of the herbaceous stem. It's totally opposite of the herbaceous stem. Now these are the stems like as such as tree trunks. Now here's an example. Is given that they are such as the tree trunks. They're like the tree trunks that are hard and do not bend easily. So this is a property that they do not bend easily. It takes a lot of effort for one to bend them easily. Got it? And then Buddhist stems don't usually get back in the dead ground region. Now it is like because they are too much. You guys can see just because they are too much on to the ground. Sorry. Wait, sorry. Because they are too much on to the ground, so that's why it's very hard for one to bend them. Okay. Then lastly we're having the examples. So here we're having the examples of herbaceous stem and woody stem. Now herbaceous stems like daisies, grass, cereals, these are all the examples of the herbaceous stems that are present. Okay. Now I hope you understand the examples. Now woody stems like trees and shrubs, these are all the examples of woody stems. Now herbaceous stems, daisies, grass and cereals, and woody stems, trees, shrubs and trees and shrubs basically. Okay, so in the image you can see the herbaceous stems and as well as the woody stems. Okay, so thank you so much for listening to me, guys. It's been 55 minutes. I've been teaching to you guys non-stop. So I deserve a like, I think so. So kindly like this video. So hope you like the video, and I'll be right back with you with another lecture. So thank you so much for listening to me. It's a pleasure. I think so that's too long, and if you're coming towards the end, I love you guys so much. So thank you so much for watching, everyone. Keep watching me. Bye bye. Take care and Allah Hafiz from my side. Allah Hafiz.